Three, two, one, and we're live. So we're doing a little pre-show. As you can see, my background is different because I have this beautiful, I have this beautiful roll top desk that was my great grandmother's roll top desk, and it is huge and it is heavy and it is real live wood. Um, and I don't know how old it is, but it is very old. So I'm not going to show you the roll top desk live, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a whole bunch of photos of it so you can see how what it looks like. Um, uh, yeah, and then I'll post them. Like I just totally forgot what I was saying, and then I'll post them here in a minute. So once we get done. So I thought we're not going to do the show from in here, but I thought when I would do my pre-show that I would be in here, and I turned it into my chit-chatting with Becca desk. So I've got all my stuff, and it was overrun. I will tell you that we were using this poor blessed desk as a catch-all for everything. And when we redid Amy's office last weekend, we moved her. She was in here in this guest room, and we moved her out of this guest room and moved her into out the other guest room we have. That we've turned that other guest room into a gym. So, and that's pretty much Becca's cave. So it has like all my medals in it and yada yada. But we moved her out of there and got her a beautiful desk and a beautiful new chair and all of that stuff. And so we have been doing some cleaning up around the house. And I've been looking at this roll, and y'all, this roll top desk, it was overloaded with stuff. And I thought, well, that's just not even fun anymore. And it was really bothering me, and I was having heart palpitations about it, and it was really getting on my nerves and anxiety, and I dreamt about it. Last night I had a nightmare about it. And so this morning on my run, I was like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to tackle it today, and I'm going to turn it into my chit-chatting with Becca desk. It's got drawers, it's got cubby holes. It's really neat. So I'll take you on a tour of it. I'll take a whole bunch of photos of it, and I'll post them here on the page in a minute. But today we're going to be talking to Georgia Deering and Jeff Whittington about the long walk, or the long hike. So that's very exciting. So join us then. But Mr. Whittington, I love the Whittingtons. They are fantastic people and adorable. They're very adorable. Mr. Whittington had sent me, he had sent me a whole bunch of his planning stuff. So we're going to be able to look at how he plans for stuff. He also sent me a short essay. He wrote a short essay. So I'm going to read his essay. I have asked him if I could read his essay, and he said, you certainly can. So I'm going to read his little essay here. And then I'm going to take you on a little walk down memory lane of some things that I found in the desk while I was cleaning it out. That's very exciting. So here's an essay called When I Get into Camp. When I get into camp, I begin executing a series of chores that I've been thinking about and planning, usually for the last several hours of hiking. Long distance hiking is a solitary sort of thing, even when you've got a friend along. The necessity of watching where your feet are going and paying attention to the trail can be a little boring, but you have to do it, often at the expense of looking around and enjoying the place you're hiking through. That said, though, there's room for internal list making, which, along with hiking, is something that I'm pretty good at. So the list, the chores, how does it work? Now, let me tell you, I am a list maker. I make lists like a crazy mouse. So I'm with him. First, I determine where the tent is going to go. Is it windy? If so, I'll need a bit of a windbreak, especially if I'm on a sandy bench. Is it going to rain? A little tree cover would be nice, unless everything is already soaked through. Check the trees. Any snags I'll need to worry about during the night? Because I really don't want to die in my sleep. I've set camp plenty of times beneath huge dead trees with the hope that tonight won't be the night it falls. It obviously hasn't happened yet, but I'd like to avoid it if possible. I'm currently using a ridiculously lightweight tent that requires my trekking poles as the primary structural elements. It takes about 60 seconds to set up. I'm going to stop right there and tell you this. I have a giant tent. I am not a backpacker. I am a car camper, and I have a tent that sleeps 10 people. And it is a pop-up tent from Coleman, and it takes 60 seconds to set up as well. So there. Um, so that's just my assignment. So I couldn't carry it anywhere except from the car to the campsite because the thing weighs so much. Anyway, okay. What I've traded in weight though, I've lost in walls. This tent is single wall thing with mesh for floor. There's a bathtub ground cloth inside. The bathtub ground cloth is something that goes up on the sides to keep you dry instead of it just being flat on the ground. It goes up. That way you don't have any leakage from the ground into your tented area, your sleeping area. But I haven't had it out in the rain yet. It is really roomy though. Next is the sleeping system. Inflating my ultralight air mattress is pretty much the last thing I want to do after a tough 14 or 16 miles day of hiking. And this chore can really suck at altitude. I can only imagine. But it has to be done. It takes a couple of minutes between 24 and 30 breaths, full breaths to do. I like that he knows how many breaths it takes. That makes me happy. I also have inflatable hospital pillows, ultralight, that need just a few puffs of air to fill out. The last piece is the bag. I remove it from its dry bag, shake, fluff, bag is sleeping bag. I remove it from its dry bag, shake, fluff, and that's it. At this point, everything I need for shelter and sleep is ready to go. Getting water is the next task. If I've planned it right, I have just arrived in camp with enough water for a nice drink or two after setting up the tent and blowing up the sleeping pad. I'm going to get thirsty soon. The short version of the story is that you want to camp near water. My personal hierarchy of water preference is as follows. Icy cold rushing mountain stream, spring mountain, cold mountain lake, desert spring, warm non-mountain lake, campground water spigot, yellow stagnant something or another that I don't know how to pronounce that is spelled Tinaja. I could probably have Googled that. Water I've carried for days on my back. Water is important. You either get enough or you die. I like to have enough on hand for the evening meal and plenty to drink through the night. Not too much though. I don't want to leave the tent when it's really cold. And if I'm in an active bear zone, especially in grizzly bear, scary bear, big bear. I don't want water in or even near the tent. I also like to have enough for breakfast the next morning and a liter or two to begin hiking. It all depends on how soon I want to stop and refill the tank the next day. If I'm staying hydrated, something you can check by monitoring the color of your urine, which is correct, very correct, and I have to tell you a little TMI. I monitor that every day because of how much I run. And I want to make sure I stay hydrated because I'll cramp. I can hike the first 5 or 6 miles with 1 liter of water. If I'm trying to really make miles before lunch, I might carry 2 liters. So how much do I filter? 3 to 4 liters usually seems about. So I get that done. And then maybe I'll do a little laundry. Oh yeah, and eat dinner. So that's Jeff's essay. I would like to say I'm very interested in how he does laundry on the trail. You can get these really neat things called scrub bags. That is a small bag that, it crumples up into something that's about the size of this, maybe that. And it's got little knobbies on the inside. And so you can pop, some of your clothes in it and a little bit of Dr. Bronner's in there and scrub, and then rinse it out. So it's pretty cool. But there's all kinds of gear. I mean, you can spend thousands on gear. You can also spend very little on gear. So it just really depends on what your preference is. And again, like I said, I'm a car camper. I've always wanted to do some backpacking, but I do have a peeing outside issue, which is just the issue of I have a hard time doing it. And so it's doesn't really work out well for me. So that's why I haven't done any of that. But so that'll be a lot of fun. So we'll get ready to talk to them. I'm going to take a quick drink of water because I did nap it up here a little while ago. But I napped it up before my shower because I wanted to make sure my hair wasn't flat today. So we're going to do a little memory lane walk. I have to tell you that there's a lot of really neat antique stuff that came with this desk, and then things that I have put on this desk since getting it that make me really happy. So my grandmother, after she and grandfather retired, she started painting. So I have this lovely jewelry box that I would like to say that I forgot about, but I didn't. I just kind of shoved it back into, it's this beautiful porcelain jewelry box here that grandmother painted the top of it. So she painted, let me make sure y'all can see that. I forget that it's backwards here. There you go. So she painted it. It's beautiful flowers. So I have this beautiful jewelry box that I enjoy, and I love it. And then I have some other really neat stuff. Some beakers. My grandfather was a pharmacist, and he was a pharmacist a very, very, very long time ago in the early, we're talking, 1900s and moving into, I mean, they retired before I was born, I think. I mean, I think they retired, maybe they retired right after I was born. I don't know. I remember going to the pharmacy once, but I don't think it was open, and they were just using it kind of like a storage area. So we'd have to ask my sister, Dr. Helen, or Denise knows. Denise is our older sister. Denise may know when they retired, or we could just ask Dad. So I have some of his beakers that he used. This one, he has a small sticker on it. Well, it's not a sticker. It's something that is on there that has etched the number 3 in Roman numerals on it, which is neat. So we have some of his items up here, which are really neat. And then I have a wonderful picture of them. So these are my mom's parents. This is from 1975, and these are their passport photos. So this is prior to them going. They went to, they went all over. So I'll tell you that. And then I have this wonderful photo of my beautiful parents. If y'all can see that, that is fantastic. Look at my mother's hair all piled up on her head. Look how handsome and beautiful. My goodness gracious, I love this picture. I can't hardly stop looking at it. It's one of the best pictures in the world. So I have these things sitting on top of the desk. I also have this great photo that needs a new piece of glass in it. But this is my grandfather in the pharmacy. That was in the pharmacy. So I believe this picture was taken, see if that's better. I believe this picture was taken for a newspaper article that was done about him. Now, they were small town, Plainview, Texas. So this is from Plainview, Texas, which is a very small town, and back then was a very, very small town. So, you did articles on, like I said, mom got a job, and when she was in her 20s and early, like maybe 19 or 20, and they were like, woohoo, Linda Lindley got a job, check it out. So, I mean, it's silly. So I have some other really neat things. Speaking of grandfather's pharmacy, this is a letter opener that says, I don't know if you can see that. It says Lindley's Reliable Pharmacy, and it gives the telephone number with no prefix. So, with no area code. So that was a long time ago, but it is a letter opener. So that's neat. And it comes in its own beautiful little sheath. So that's fun. One of the coolest things that I have is I have my grandmother's slate. This is her slate from when she was in school. And it opened up. Maybe that's not the right size. There's some slate pencils inside of it. So, but it opens to some more slates on the inside. But I hate to mess with it too much because it's not in the best shape. So I try not to move it around much. But when I was a kid, she had it sitting out on one of their little cabinets about the house, and I wasn't allowed to touch it, but I could look at it. And so I would stare at it and stare at it and stare at it. And then these are this is a package of slate pencils. So you would buy, this is a slate pencil. So you write on your little slate little handheld chalkboard is what it is. It's a handheld chalkboard. So you write on it with these little pencils, and you buy them in a package like this. So this was her little package of pencils, still with the original thread, and this is the original paper and all of that. So it's pretty delicate and falling apart, so we don't touch it very much. And then this is a Star Wars pen that lights up when you write. So when you push down on it, it lights up. So those are the things that I have found that are, oh, we also have photos. This is my whole family. So that is my mom and my dad. And then this is our oldest sister, Denise. And then here's Dr. Helen right here. And then this is my brother David right here. And then here I am. I've just woken up from a nap and am a little grumpy. So again, mom's hair is piled all up on top of her head. And isn't that beautiful? And this picture was taken in 1979 at a wedding. So we had gone to a wedding, and this was the picture. And it's 1979. Look at my brother's fantastic shirt. So there's that. We also have some other really neat stuff. This is a picture of, and I didn't know this stuff was in here. Like, I started looking around in the drawers and stuff, and I've looked through these drawers 1,000 times, and then I never noticed that this stuff was in here. So I don't know when it got in here. But this is a picture of my grandfather's mom's dad, the pharmacist. This is a picture of my grandfather's parents on their wedding day. So this was taken a very, very, very long time ago, because grandfather was born in the early 1900s. I can't remember exactly when he was born, but he was born in the early 1900s. So I have that. I also have the negative in here, which is fascinating. And then the last show and tell thing that I want to show you, I think is probably the best. This is a picture of me. See? Don't I look the same with the same cheeks? This is a picture of me as a baby. I'm a baby. So mom gave me a mohawk. Do you see that? Do you see that? I have a mohawk as a child, and I have a mohawk as an adult. Do you see that? So there you go. I'm just that punk rock. As a baby, I was that punk rock. So this is me as a baby. So that's fun. And we had a good time. I had a really good time cleaning this out. And then now it is my Chitchattin with Becca station, my Chitchattin with Becca desk. I will take all kinds of photos for y'all and show it off. I will also tell you one more thing, that I have thought about this hand-painted postcard all week long, and I have decided that I am not a painter at all in any way. I like to do, we've got a chalkboard that I like to do my chalkboard art on, but I can't, as y'all can see, it's, you know, I'm like I'm not really talented like that. But I love that she made this a postcard with just some heavy duty construction paper. So I am going to get myself some heavy duty construction paper, and I'm going to get some stencils, and I'm going to get some watercolors, and I'm going to give it my best shot to do some of these postcards. So if you want to correspond with me and me send you postcards, then if I don't have your address, because if I have your address, I'm gonna, pretty much everybody in our address book, if I have your address, if I start doing this, you're gonna get one. If you want me to send you a painted postcard, because you know they're going to be ridiculously terrible and bad, but I'll do the best I can, then direct message me your address, or send us a postcard. So because we love your correspondence. Also, don't forget, today we've got a couple of new I don't know why you would forget this, because you don't even know. We have a couple of new segments that we're going to do today. We've kind of switched up the show, took out some things that weren't really working. We're adding some stuff that's going to be a little fun. And then we'll talk again about our contest that we have coming up to win the Eudora Welty books, the Shoebird. So we've got 2 of these books to give away. Dr. Helen was so generous to get these books. We've got 2 of these books to give away. And we've got our essays already out there, and I've read the first short story. Tomorrow I'll be reading this next short story. So you could tune in for that at 2:30 and listen to me read another short story. And then don't forget, we've got our Chitchattin with Becca Gmail address that you can send your essays to, and I'll repost all of the essay questions. So we'll see you in a little while. I'm very excited to see all of y'all soon. So stay tuned and join us at 2:30 for a wonderful chat. Georgia, who is one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my entire life, and one of my closest friends, and Jeff Whittington, who I just can't even tell you how much I love him. So so y'all just tune in there. Hopefully they'll bring their spouses along, because I also love them as well. Nicole is Jeff's spouse, and she's the one who does this, and they send me things, so we love them. So join us then at 2:30, and then we'll see you soon. Okay, bye.